if someone was asked what their most important relationship is, they could say it is with their partner, or with a friend, or with a sibling, for example. But their most important relationship will be with themselves. And this is because if they are unable to be there for themselves, to take care of their needs, and they don't value themselves, then it is going to be difficult for them to truly be there for another, and for another person to really value them and to really be there for them, because they won't be there for themselves. And the relationship that they have with another, or the relationships that they have with others, are always going to mirror back the relationship they have with themselves. And so when a man is caught up, emotionally entangled with his mother, and he has a tendency to put her needs first, and he neglects himself, he is going to have a relationship with his mother, if it could be called that, because it will be very one-sided. There won't be much relating going on, but he won't have much of a relationship with himself. And so in general it could be a mystery as to what his needs and feelings are. But although he won't have a relationship with himself, and will be living on the surface of himself, and most of his energy will be in his head and being directed towards his mother, he might not even realize this. And as time passes, he could soon end up being burnt out, and he will no longer be able to behave in this way, because through not having a relationship to himself, he will have gone too far, and he will have basically exhausted himself. And at this stage of his life, he might not be able to get out of bed. He could have very little energy, and so although he may feel guilty and anxious when it comes to not being able to be there for his mother, he simply won't be able to do anything about this. And if he was to end up reaching out during this time for external support, he could go to see his doctor, and this person could refer him to a counsellor or a therapist, and the light could be shone on his life, and he could come to see that he doesn't have a connection to himself. And this is why he's ended up burning himself out, because he will have been running on empty for so long that he will have completely worn himself out. So now that he has got external support, and this person can ask him the right questions and be there for him, he will be able to see that he has been neglecting himself for most of his life. He has abandoned himself, and this is why he's ended up in this position. And so during the moments where he would have felt down and depressed and ignored this, and now that he is totally exhausted, this won't have just happened. It will be the result of many, many years of self-neglect. And the reason why he won't have a relationship with himself will be due to what took place very early on. And so during his early years, his mother will have used him to meet some of our adult and unmet childhood needs, and he would have had to have lost touch with his true self and to become solely focused on his mother. And so at the beginning of his life, he would have been in tune with his body, so his true self, and aware of his needs, feelings, wants, desires and preferences. But through having to be there for his mother, he would have gradually become estranged from himself. And if he was to express himself, he may have been disapproved of, punished and or abandoned, so simply would not have been safe. And so many years will have passed, and he will continue to be focused on his mother. And even though this stage of his life is over, it is now safe for him to be there for himself and to be in tune with who he is and to express himself. Deep down, he will still believe that if he was to do this, if he was to have a relationship with himself, he would end up being harmed, or his life would come to an end. And so if you're a man and you can relate to this, perhaps you haven't reached out for support yet, but you can see that you don't have much of a relationship with yourself, it is going to be essential for you to start to bring your energy and your attention back into your body, and to perhaps reach out for external support, because you're not here to live anyone else's life. You are worthy and deserving of having your own life and living a great life. So don't suffer in silence, and please reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. To find out more about the services that I offer and how I can assist you on your journey, go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.